On episode 186 of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, we're going to celebrate the podcast being 1 year old. Yes, it was December 7th when episode 1 of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast went live, and we are now 1 year old. And so I want to kind of take some time today and kind of go over some things that I still hold as very true when I launched this podcast, and some things that I've kind of learned over the year. I want to share those lessons with you. You can find the full show notes for this episode at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/186. Have you decided you're ready to make a change? To reclaim your health and fitness? The 40 Plus Fitness Podcast is here for you. I'm your host, Alan Meisner. I'm an NSAM certified personal trainer with a specialization in corrective exercise and fitness nutrition. Let me be your coach as you find your way on your health and fitness journey. All right, let's go. So welcome to the anniversary episode of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast. I'm really excited to be bringing you this episode because in podcasting, and it's probably something you may not follow too much. Obviously, I'm a podcaster, so it is an area that I do spend some time looking at. Every single month, there are thousands upon thousands of new podcasts that are launched. And many of these podcasters are well-meaning and do really want to put out great information and help a lot of people. Unfortunately, it's very hard to find an audience. It's really hard to resonate with folks unless you really do have a good, solid message and you really work hard to bring value every single episode. And I've done that. Most podcasts that, like I said, of the thousands and thousands that launch, most podcasts don't make it past episode 7. And most don't grow to the point that we have. Now, over the course of this year, along with the bonus episodes and with the current episode, we have now done 190 episodes together. Isn't that kind of crazy? 190 episodes. And to kind of put that in context, early on, most of my episodes were 15 minutes. Now, some of them go almost as long as an hour. So when you start kind of adding up the amount of time that we've spent together over the course of this year, we are talking about hundreds of hours. And, those are hours that I put into this program because I really do want to help you. I want to be a part of your health and fitness journey. And each and every week, I want to make sure that the episodes that I bring you are going to really do something to help either educate you, encourage you, or at least entertain you. And I hope that I've done that successfully this year. Just a few things for you to think about. I know I've thought about as I've kind of looked back on this year and said, what have we done here? What have we really accomplished here? And the stories are great. I can tell you the emails I've gotten from many of you, it's just really heartwarming. The challenges and how folks have lost some weight because of the sugar challenge, how people, are seeing their body differently now that they've done the squat challenge. Just different things that have come out about the different episodes that we've released. And again, to put it into some context here, I've interviewed over 74 people and therefore read over 74 books on health and fitness topics over the course of the year, and tried to make sure each and every week I bring you something that's actionable, particularly with those interviews, so that as you talk to these authors, as I talk to these authors, you're hearing something that you can actually apply in your life and that is going to really be valuable and really resonate with you. And if nothing else, something you can share with friends and family that will help them. And over the course of the year, we've seen the audience gradually grow, which is what you want with a podcast. A good podcast over time draws more people, and we grow. And we've grown very, very well. As of today, we are going to be hitting 340,000 downloads for all of the episodes released. So, that's kind of a phenomenal number. Again, when I start thinking about the total number of hours of content, the total number of hours of listening time that you've put into this. So you really should be proud of yourself that you're committing this time to really focusing on your health and fitness. And I'm a big, big proponent of the amount of time that you invest in a topic no matter what that topic is, it starts making you better and better at that topic. And you may have heard this axiom that, to be an expert at something, you need to invest 10,000 hours in doing it. The same goes for health and fitness. The more you surround yourself with positive health and fitness news, the more you learn about your body and how it works through your own experimentation and through listening through to what others are putting out, what we're trying to teach. You have this huge opportunity to just be a much healthier and better person for it. And so what I want to try to do today with this episode is really kind of go through and just do kind of a postmortem, not that we're dying, but just the term, is to look back and say, what are some concepts, what are some things that I brought to this thing when I first started, and what's changed. And it's not drastic, but some big things have changed in the way that I look at this whole picture and just trying to understand how to best provide information for you and make sure that I am bringing the best program I can each and every week. Now, episode 1, I talked about commitment. And I still do believe that commitment is the total key. If you're not committed to this health and fitness journey, you're not going to succeed. That's just a given. And some things that I've kind of refined out of that as I've moved forward and I launched the Forever Fitness program is kind of understanding how we can put that whole commitment thing together. And the real commitment thing is twofold. One is you have to have a substantial why. You have to have a passion for what you're trying to accomplish. And typically that's not just to be better looking or feel better. There's usually something deep and emotional about it. So the more emotional, the more deep you can find a why you want to accomplish this, the more likely you are going to be sticking with it. And then the second piece of it is kind of knowing where you're going to go. So having an overall vision of what health and fitness looks like. And I'll kind of give you an idea of what I mean there is, for me, I've always wanted and I've always enjoyed lifting weights and being a little bit more muscular. And I like that look on myself, and I want to do that. What it means is that I lose a little bit of maybe endurance and leanness from time to time. And I might look a little bulky, but I'm comfortable with that. And that's the vision that I have for my health and fitness. Now, other folks that I've had conversations with, and some of the people that I've had on this podcast, are much more into the running, and particularly the distance running. I mean, we've had some awesome runners on here, and I just, and some of them as old, if not older than me, and I just listen to their stories about their ability to overcome these huge distances. And having done some of that myself when I was younger, just understanding the dedication that it takes to be able to do that, the training every single day, week after week, and just getting yourself to that point. One of our listeners, she put 200 miles on her body over the course of November. And that just floors me that individuals that listen to this show are like doing those kind of things. And it just, again, it's a different vision of health and fitness, but it's the right vision because it's the vision that you have. So if you have a good why, and then you have a good vision, and you put those two things together, you have the commitment. And the commitment is what's going to help you stay true to your fitness goals. So I still do go back to that. Now, another piece of this pie is that I believe in the 3 Ps. And if you'll recall what those are, it's basically that you have the persistence to stick with it, which again goes back to the commitment. And then you start building some progression into the work that you're doing. You can't just do the same work week in and week out and expect that you're going to see improvements. You're going to plateau, which is the 4th P, I guess, if you don't have some form of progression built into your programming. And then the final P is patience, because we're a little older. We have to face that. And we're not necessarily going to see results in a linear fashion. There's going to be dips. There's going to be plateaus. But having the patience to stick with something we know is right, because we've taken the time to educate ourselves. We know our bodies, and we know what we're doing and the persistence and the progression that we just keep applying, we know that's working, and we keep at it with the patience. And so you put those three together, and they just kind of build that foundation that helps us be healthier, that helps us move forward, helps show us that that vision we have is in our reach. We're getting closer to that vision because we're working following the 3 Ps. Now, there are a few things that I did bring to this thing. I guess I, for lack of a better word, can call it baggage. I didn't fully understand when I first started this that there really is a lot of diversity in the way that our bodies handle things. And I did talk about it. One of the foundations is Lab Rat, with the need for us to do our own self-experimentation. But I really did kind of believe that there was one best way for most people. And what I'm finding is that's not necessarily the case. There are individuals that can do very, very well on a vegetarian diet. I tried the pescatarian diet over the course of this year, and it just wasn't something that I could stick with because I was hungry all the time, and I started eating additional nuts and fruits, and then my calories went way out of whack, my energy levels went way out of whack, and I really wasn't getting everything. I didn't feel like I was getting everything I needed to be and feel as healthy as I could. So understanding that for me, probably being more on the paleo, organic, looking at where and how the food is sourced, and then making sure again that I'm keeping my overall sugar levels really, really low is going to give me the best overall effect. Does that work for everybody? And the answer is no, not really. I can't expect you to eat the way I eat and for that to work and give you the exact same results that I get. You're going to have to figure out for yourself. Now, there are some basic tenets that I feel very, very strong about. And I'm going to make an announcement a little bit later about that, because there are 3 tenets that I think if someone's looking to lose weight, these 3 tenets are really kind of the key for how you actually deliver on it. So, we talk about, being committed, and we talk about the 3 Ps, and those are important, but those are not executables. Those are theories. Those are kind of the structure, the strategy. So what I want to take to this is I want to talk more about the tactics. And in looking at the tactics, one of the things that kind of really, and I guess this was the biggest paradigm shift for me this year, is that, I know people are really, really, really focused on the scale. And I've always had a little bit of a problem with that, because I really don't think that's the best measure of health. But what I've come to understand is we're never really going to be able to completely push past that. Most of us are still going to be stepping on the scale. I don't know anybody that doesn't own a bathroom scale. In fact, I think we actually own 3. I think there's 2 here in this house and there's 1 in the condo. So we have a scale around us all the time. And that's just so much temptation to step on it. And now when you step on the scale, you have some immediate feedback. And we're trained, through going to school and getting grades, or, we're in a swim meet, or we're going to do something and we get graded, or, we go to do a concert and we either did well because people are going to give us the feedback of clapping, or we didn't. And maybe it's a little bit more awkward. But everything that we've done, a lot of the things that we've done have always kind of had this feedback. And we typically will try to take that feedback and we'll try to improve. So if you're getting feedback from a scale, how am I going to really get you past not using that feedback? And the short answer of it is I probably can't. And so I think that's the big paradigm shift for me, is that if weight loss is something that's top of mind for you, it's really incumbent on me to say, okay, maybe that's the part of this that gets the snowball rolling. Maybe that's the push that gets you feeling like you've accomplished something. So then from there, you can move on to focus on more important health features. So how is your A1C? How is your vitamin D level? How is your blood pressure? Are you still having to take meds? Are all these other things that I think are so much more important? But that's my paradigm and the way I look at things. But maybe giving you that opportunity for a little bit of weight loss, because that's something that's top of mind for you, is exactly what you need to get the ball rolling, to get that snowball going down the hill, so you're on your way to your vision. Because maybe your vision truly does have a big part of weight loss. Maybe it's not running a 5K or being able to lift a certain amount, or just being able to keep up with the grandchild, although those are probably parts of it. You're just not there yet because you still get that feedback from the scale, and you want some validation that what you're doing is moving that metric as well. So I am kind of taking a step back from my hardline position of let's not look at the scale. I still don't think that's the best measure, but I've decided I'm going to go ahead and release a program. And this program, I'm going to call Surefire Results for Weight Loss. And I'm releasing it today. So you can go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/surefire. And that will take you to a little page that kind of describes this. But I want to take just a minute to kind of get into a description of this, because I do think it's important. Now, in getting to true weight loss and thinking about what are the drivers for weight loss, there are a few things that I do know, okay? You can try the calorie in, calorie out, and the diet things and all of those things, but they typically don't work very well. And part of the reason they don't work very well, and we talked to Jason Fung about this in episode 77, was they don't take into account why and how we're storing the fat. We're storing the fat because we have a high level of insulin. That raised insulin, that increased insulin, is storing that as fat, and it's not letting us lose that fat. So the true way to address the insulin problem, or the most effective way that I know, is to cut back on our sugar. So if you were part of the sugar challenge, you experienced some of this, in that you probably saw some weight loss as we went through that 30 days. So in Surefire Results, we do focus on our sugar intake. Another thing that we do focus on in Surefire Results for weight loss is doing a little bit of walking. Now, why do I like walking? I like walking because just about anybody can do it. And it's kind of a good way for you to experience some exercise without overstressing your body early on. And so a limited amount of walking under the right circumstances, and that's part of the program, is those tactics that I'm putting in place. They have science behind them. If you listen to the episode Walking Off the Weight, we talked about that as well with that author, is that walking will help you lose weight if you're doing it the right way. And that's part of this whole program. So, we're going to include some walking, but that's the limit of the exercise as far as what the program calls for. And then the third piece of this is about our water intake. And we want to take in water for a couple different reasons. One is most of us are walking around dehydrated, and that dehydration can in fact confuse us and make us think that that's hunger. Thirst is often confused for hunger. So that's one key reason, is we don't want to be eating when what we really should be doing is drinking water. The second piece of this is many people will drink other liquids that are actually calorie laden. And those extra calories, because of the way they're taken in so quickly, are really adding a big calorie load to us that we don't necessarily need. So the milks and the sweetened stuff, the sodas, those types of things are not necessarily what I'd say dead calories, because milk has some wholesome features to it, but it does bring along with it some calories that you're taking in typically very, very quickly, and without much energy to chew and digest, because it's just so readily available. And then the final reason is that your body, as you start to lose fat, begins to release toxins that had been stored in that fat. Your liver is trying to process the the toxins. But the liver is also part of the shuttling into fat that's done with the insulin. So if you are starting to burn the fat, you're now adding those toxins back into your system, and having a good hydrated body with good, your blood levels and everything. Because again, if you're not drinking enough water, you're actually going to end up with a lower volume of blood. And with higher toxin level and a lower volume of blood, it's just not the best situation. So we want to make sure that we're getting plenty of water. So this program that I've developed, Surefire Results for Weight Loss, is going to make sure that you're on track for all of those. It's a 28-day program. It costs about $1 a day. And for $1 a day, you can lose the weight. And I really do believe that you could lose 8 to 10 pounds very easily in that 28-day period. And if you try a program like this, you try this program and it doesn't work for you, I'll just give you your money back. I don't want your money if I'm not giving you the results. And so I'm literally launching this program and saying, just give it a try. You have absolutely nothing to lose. And if you don't lose the weight, if you don't lose the 10 pounds, 8 to 10 pounds, and you're not happy, I'll just give you your money back. I don't have a problem with that. I'm here to help you. And if weight loss is something that you're interested in, I really do hope you check out this program. And okay, I know what you're thinking. Well, New Year's Eve is coming up soon, so I'll do it then. And I'm going to encourage you to not wait. Okay? I'm not going to do anything with the pricing. I'm not going to play that whole game with you right now. I'm just going to say, I think you should start right now. I think you should go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/surefire and check it out today and get started today. Because I think you're going to be a lot happier with yourself if we've made it into year end and you've already lost those 8 pounds. I think you're going to be a lot happier than if you wait and know that you lost that opportunity. So I do hope you'll check it out. And, I've really enjoyed doing a year worth of this podcast with you. I'm happy we endured all of this. We're on episode 186 with the 4 bonus episodes that I released during the year. That puts us at 190. That's a lot of your time, and I really do appreciate it. And so, again, we'll talk next time. Thank you for being a part of the 40 Plus Fitness podcast during its first year. I've really enjoyed being the host. I've really enjoyed this whole process, the things that we've gone through, the things that I've learned. And I do hope that you've taken something valuable from all of the episodes that you've managed to listen to this year. And I do hope that you'll check out the new program that I'm launching today, Surefire Results for Weight Loss. I believe this is really a great program. It makes it very simple, and it's really the most cost-effective way that I know to deliver results to you, guaranteed. So go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/surefire and check it out. Next time on the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, I share 11 health and fitness gifts that you can buy for someone during this holiday period. You need to buy a last-minute gift, and these are some awesome gifts for you to consider to help others with their health and fitness, and hey, maybe buy one for yourself. Until next time, have a happy and healthy day.